All right, episode 3. In this guide, we're going to be talking about modding in Warframe. Now, this won't be a full in-depth guide as modding and damage in Warframe is incredibly complex. And as a beginner, you do not need to know absolutely everything. I will teach you the framework of how modding works in this video so that you can use what you have learned in this video to mod your way all the way through to late Star Chart. By now, you should have gathered a few mods as you progress in the game. You can place these mods on your Warframes and weapons to make them do more damage so that you will be stronger in game. Now, to make this easier to understand, I'm going to use Rhino here as an example. Now, once you head over to the upgrade section, you will see this menu over here. Now, for your Warframe, you get Warframe specific mods, of course, and this menu may seem overwhelming, but I will break it down for you. Every single Warframe has these stats on the left. It obviously varies per Warframe, but they will generally always have armor, energy, health, shields, and so on. You will also see these 4 stats over here: duration, efficiency, range, and strength. These are the 4 main stats of Warframe. Duration increases the duration of your Warframe's abilities and reduces the energy cost of Warframe toggled abilities. Efficiency reduces the energy cost per cast for Warframe abilities. Range increases the range of your Warframe abilities, and strength increases the damage or potency of your Warframe abilities. In the middle of your screen, you will see 8 mod slots in the middle and then 2 on the top. The one on the left is your aura slot, and the one on the right is your extra slot. The 8 slots below are filled up with mods to make your Warframe stronger, and the 2 icons on the right are your arcane slots. These are just like extra power-ups for your Warframe that you will farm later on in the game that you can add on to your builds. You also have your configs above the mod slots. These allow you to make multiple builds for the same frame. You can buy more slots for platinum, but don't do that now, please. To the left, you will see your Warframe abilities. When you start adding mods and changing the strength or duration, for example, you will see the change here when you hover over the ability. Then, above the menu with the stats, you will see the capacity. Here is the important part here. Every Warframe and weapon has a certain capacity. So I have a rank 9 Rhino here, and how capacity works is you will get 1 mod capacity for every mastery rank. So I am currently master rank 6 at the moment. That means if I get a brand new Warframe or weapon, it will start at 6 capacity. Like this unranked Volcar over here, for example, as you can see, it's unranked and I have 6 capacity. So my Rhino is rank 9, meaning I have 9 capacity. Because obviously from rank 0 to 6, I will have 6 capacity and then I'll add 1 as I go over. This capacity is increased per level up to 30 because the max rank of weapons and frames is 30 in Warframe. However, there is a way that we can increase this capacity. If you head over to the actions menu in the bottom right, you will see a auto install button and then upgrade. For Warframes, this is called an Orokin reactor, and what this does is it doubles your mod capacity for 20 platinum. You can also farm blueprints or just full Orokin reactors through events that pop up in Warframe every now and then. We will get to polarization and the other 2 actions later on. So when I put this Orokin reactor on Rhino, I will have 18 mod capacity. This is the exact same for weapons. Now let's go back to the top mod slot in the middle. Auras. An aura mod is a type of mod that gives your entire squad a passive effect that benefits both you and your squad. For example, the aura mod Rifle Amp increases your rifle damage by 27%. This will affect you and your teammates. But aura mods also increase your mod capacity. So when I place this specific mod in the aura slot, I will get an additional 14 mod capacity. This applies to all aura mods, and aura mods are only for Warframes, not for weapons. By now, you would have noticed all the little numbers on the top right of each mod. This is the capacity that this mod will take up, or how much it will cost. So for example, this rush mod here, which increases your sprint speed, takes up 6 mod capacity. If I place it in one of the mod slots, you will see the mod capacity go down by 6. Mods can also be upgraded in the mod section. So as I upgrade this mod, the mod capacity will go up by 1 per upgrade until it is maxed out for that specific mod. Each mod has a different max rank. Some are level 5, some are level 10. It just depends on the mod. You can see by the little dots at the bottom of each mod. That's mod capacity explained in a nutshell. Now let's talk about these little symbols over here. In Warframe, you have polarities. Now, polarities halve your capacity for that mod if you match the polarity. You have 3 main polarities called Materai, which is what I call the Y polarity, Vazarin, which is the horizontal P or D, or Naramon, which is a lying down L or just a line. So if I put a Vazarin mod into this mod slot here, which has the Vazarin polarity on it, it will halve the capacity your mod consumes, as you can see by the green number. Now, if you put the wrong polarity mod, it will increase the capacity your mod consumes, which you obviously don't want. Think of it as matching shapes. Same shape equals good, wrong shape equals bad. I just explained it to you like an elementary school teacher. I'm sorry. That's why this aura mod here has given me extra mod capacity, because it is matching the polarity in the aura slot. Remember, only the aura mod gives you extra capacity. And if you place a Vazarin mod into the Vazarin polarity here that Rhino already has built in, your capacity cost will be halved. So the question is, how do you get these polarities on your warframes and weapons? Well, most weapons and frames generally have 1 or 2 or 3 free polarities given to you built in. And then if you want to add extra, you will have to use something called Forma. Now, Forma is a very important part of Warframe. It's literally what makes your builds. You can farm Forma blueprints through Void Relics, and then you can craft them, or you could just buy pre-built Forma with Platinum. Now, how to actually use your Forma? Once you have one, you need to max out the Warframe or weapon, so you need to get it to level 30. Once you are at max rank, you can head over to the Actions tab and click on Forma or Polarization, and then this menu will pop up. Choose the mod slot you want that is obviously free, and then keep clicking until you get the polarity that you want. Don't worry if you do mess up a polarity slot, you can Forma over another slot that already has a polarity, but just make sure that you do the right one, because then you will waste Forma and time. Then click confirm, and once you have done that, you will see that your weapon or frame will be unranked. It'll go back down to 0. Now you have an extra polarity slot, and you can place more max mods on, thus finishing your build. And you can rinse and repeat this process as much as you want, but generally weapons and frames need at most 5 to 6 Forma for a fully min-maxed endgame build. Now for weapon modding, in terms of the capacity and formatting, it follows the same structure. Weapons have their stats on the left here, which includes everything about the weapon, including accuracy, ammo, fire rate, magazine size, reload speed, and the fire mode type, for example. And then comes the damage section. Now, damage in Warframe is incredibly complex, and I decided not to talk about it in this video because it is so complex that it needs to be made in multiple videos. However, in this section, you will find the stats for crit chance, crit damage, your crit multiplier, and then status chance. Now, status chance. In Warframe, you have status effects, which is an additional effect that has a chance of proccing from a weapon hit or a Warframe ability. Now, status chance is the probability of that status effect proccing. Then you will see impact, puncture, and slash. Now, I will make an in-depth guide, like I've mentioned, on the damage types of Warframe, but here is a quick brief overview. In Warframe, you get 2 main damage types. Physical damage, which consists of your impact, puncture, and slash. The abbreviation for this is IPS. You will hear a lot about it in Warframe videos, and when people explain things to you, they will say IPS, which stands for impact, puncture, and slash. Then you have the elemental damage, which consists of toxin, electricity, heat, and cold, which can be further combined to make more elements, like magnetic, radiation, blast, viral, corrosive, and gas. I will expand as to what each of these elements actually do in a separate video. Back to the modding. I would suggest putting a flat damage mod and some fire rate or attack speed for melee, and some crit damage and crit chance mods on your builds in the beginning. Be sure to max out your flat damage mods for each weapon type and use these mods as they will help you the most in the star chart. In Warframe, you want to max out your mods so that they give you the maximum effect. To do this, you need Endo. You obtain Endo from doing missions in game. If you would really like to farm Endo, I would suggest doing an excavation on Everest, or Tikal on Earth, or Killican on Venus, and Augustus on Mars. Although I would not suggest focus farming Endo so early into the game, because as you progress, you will begin to unlock better ways of getting Endo. My advice is just play the game. You will passively gain small amounts of Endo, and then you can use that to level up your mods. In the mod section, when you select a mod, you will see the option to fuse them together, which is upgrading your mods basically. Transmute 4 mods into one, giving you a chance for a rare mod, costing you credits. Sell your mods for credits, or dissolve them for Endo. Don't worry too much about item treasures just yet. I would suggest to get gain extra Endo, dissolve your duplicate mods, as you will find you will start collecting a lot of duplicates as you play. Just remember not to dissolve all of them and keep one copy just in case. You can sort by duplicates in the mod section here to make this process a lot easier. In the mod section, you will see the different categories here. You get Warframes, auras, augment, primaries, secondaries, melees, and stances, and so on. Warframe mods are, for Warframe mods, obviously, they are under one category. But for primary weapons, you have subcategories, which are rifles, shotguns, snipers, bows. And then for secondaries and melee, you pretty much have just pistol mods and melee mods with a few special extras. Augments are mods that are tied to certain frames, which make the frame's abilities better. They are pretty much like Warframe power-ups or band-aids. Now, within these subcategories for weapons, you get different types of mods. Damage mods are like Serration, Hornet Strike, and Pressure Point. And then you have crit mods like Crit Chance, Crit Damage, Status mods, which I will go into future episodes. And then you have your general quality of life mods like Reload, Ammo Maximum, Projectile Speed, Fire Rate, and so on and so on. Now, don't go trigger happy formering everything you own. Rather save it for a good enough weapon or frame. I will make a guide on this as well for you on the best beginner weapons and beginner frames. But for now, just play any weapon or frame, put some flat damage, and you will be good to go. So I've explained a lot about modding, but the question is, what mods are good in the beginning of Warframe? Well, I have made a simple list of mods you will need as a beginner. For Warframes, the most important mods to get are Intensify, Continuity, Streamline, Flow, and Stretch. And then you will have this by now, but Redirection and Vitality. But these two mods are generally used in the super early game, and then you will drop these as you progress. For weapons, you want the damage mods, which is Serration, Hornet Strike, and Pressure Point. Attack speed or fire rate mods like Speed Trigger, Shotgun Barrage, Gunslinger, and Fury. All the crit mods like Point Strike, Blunderbuss, Pistol Gambit, True Steel. And then Vital Sense, Ravage, Target Cracker, and Organ Shatter for crit damage. And then for aura mods, you can take what you have available. And just very quickly, the way that you can farm aura mods is through the Nightwave, which I have not mentioned before, but think of it as Warframe's battle pass in a way. And you can access it by pressing escape and going to the Nightwave in the bottom right. And as you start to complete certain objectives, you will move up in the tiers and you will get Nightwave credits, which you can head over to the shop section and you will see aura mods in rotation. Now, don't spend all your Nightwave credits on aura mods, just choose specific ones because you will need some of these credits to get a very important resource called Nitane Extract. Now, obviously there are more mods, but for a beginner in Warframe, this is like your starter mods that you will need to see you quite far into the star chart. I have made an in-depth guide on all the necessary mods you need in Warframe as a whole that you can work towards if you want to check that out. Now, where to farm these mods? The wiki is your best friend here. Or what you can do is head over to the codex section on your orbiter, head to universe, go to the mod section, look up the mod you want, and it will tell you where to farm it at the bottom. But sometimes you haven't discovered any locations, so just use the wiki in that case. Some mods are given to you through junctions and quests, so just play the game, and when you find you're struggling a bit, then maybe consider target farming certain mods that you think you'll need. And that's pretty much a basic intro into modding in Warframe. Again, I just want to reiterate this: for your weapons, just use the basic damage mods. It is far better for you to max rank a Serration or Pressure Point, for example, and get that big flat damage increase than having a whole bunch of unranked mods on your weapon. For Warframes, similar thing. You can upgrade Redirection and Vitality a little bit, but don't sink all your Endo in this, please. Around 5 to 6 ranks will suffice in the star chart. And then focus on strength or range or efficiency, etc, depending on the frame. And that's it for this episode. This will hopefully allow you to play around and make a few builds early on. I hope this all makes sense. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode.